Hi, I'm Alexa Pukanikin, and we're balling today, tomorrow, and maybe yesterday. At what cost? All right. All right. Nice to be back another week. Just quickly, this episode is going to be different to all the other episodes. Every single episode I've uploaded so far, I've pretty much done like at least a couple or a few days worth of like pretty much screenwriting. I got to the point where, well, let's just say last episode, I wrote like over 3,000 words for the episode, which I think was a little ridiculous. Like I instantly noticed how ineffective it could be. So I'm going to give this one a try. I have 2 pages worth of just small, brief bullet points. And, just going to see if I can talk about this, riff off the top of my head and see if this is any better. I know it's probably going to be a little bit challenging and time-wise, I don't know. But I don't know. The reason why I started podcast was because I just talk too much anyways, or I feel like I could talk forever. So, let's just give it this try, because we got week 5 recap of the NFL. Still Eagles Nation. I'll just start off with that. One of the big matchup results that we got this week, we had Bills versus Steelers, and I've talked about Steelers having their flaws, right? Personally, I thought as soon as they kicked Mitch Trubisky out, it was really gonna turn the tide. I thought that Mitch Trubisky was just dragging the whole fucking team down, and anyone else but Mitch Trubisky could get something done. And I mean, I just feel like Steelers as an organization, as a team, they have enough like people in the background to always have like somewhat of a decent team, somewhat of a midfield, mid-level team. And I've talked about the Bills before. The Bills are ridiculous this season. Josh Allen's hit his stride finally. Stephon Diggs finally has a quarterback that he's fully comfortable with and can fully just cater to his skill set, So we know all about the Bills. We know all about the Steelers, right? And coming into this game, you're like, okay, yeah, Bills are going to take this one. Okay, there's no way a team like Steelers can beat the Bills. Okay, no problem. That was the obvious. But what we didn't really expect was we got Bills absolutely ripping a new butthole for the Steelers with a 38-3 defeat. Which is rough. It's a rough one. biggest loss for the Steelers organization since 1989. God damn, that one stings. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's really like if the Bills are gonna go against any team. Dude, I don't know. It got really bad. I was watching the game, man. It was just Bills were just like, I wouldn't even say they were making plays. They were just playing the game, but there was like no opposition to, try to stop them. There was just, it was just their show. It was just their show. That sucks. For the Steelers. That really sucks. I mean, this is great for the Bills. This is just not. This does nothing but good for the Bills, for Josh Allen, for Stephon Diggs. Now they have the confidence of being able to just absolutely do their thing. You know, I'm sure they weren't like. I'm sure the Bills were like trying out like kind of like some different stuff too, because maybe at the end they were just leading by so much. They were like, hey, let's try this one. Let's try this one. Like they were just trying little different like things in the playbook that they've never tried before against like good teams, right? So this is nothing but good for the Bills. For the Steelers, you know, you gotta take that, you know, tough attitude and just be like, good. The Steelers needed this, you know. The Steelers needed this to motivate them and get their ass from, you know, being lazy and just really get back to the grindstones and try to somehow pull like a, you know, mid-season turnaround. But right now it's just not looking too good for Mike Tomlin. The Steelers boys, it's not good. It's really not good. But then again, the Bills are the talk of the town, really. So just good for the Bills that they're, you know, no problem. They can take care of easy opposition like that, no problem. Then, yeah, good for Bills. They move on. Bills got a easier. I don't know. Okay, well, I don't think it got easier than that. Let's see who are the Bills playing next week. The Bills are playing the Chiefs. Okay. That's a bit of a heavyweight matchup, so I don't think I'm going to go in too much detail about what could go down, but yeah. Or I'm going to talk about that later in a different bullet point. Yeah, I'm going to do that. A little bit different subject. All right. Next game that I'm going to cover up, the Chiefs versus the Raiders game. First of all, I have been following the NFL for, I think, 4 full regular seasons now. And I would have to say that I genuinely get really excited for some reason when I see Raiders versus Chiefs. Like every single time, every year, every regular season, when I see that matchup, I'm like, yes, like let's go. I'm really hyped about the matchup. And same this year. Absolutely. Now the Raiders are a little bit more competitive. You know, they got the Devontae Adams. I've talked about that almost fucking every episode, what Devontae Adams brings to a team. But yeah, and this time, you know, playing field maybe a little bit even. Or not even, but just interesting how, you know, Derek Carr's got his, like, you know, wide receiver as a weapon, and then, you know, Chiefs, they have Travis Kelce, tight end, as a weapon. So, yeah, just always been excited for the matchup. This time, I was, you know, honestly, I went with the Raiders wave. I was like, this time, I was like, yeah, Raiders are taking this one. No problem. Absolutely no problem. And basically, that was not the case. Kind of. So what happened was, it was a back and forth game. It went down to the line, down to the wire. I don't know, some saying like that. Except on the last play that the Raiders made, I'm pretty sure, or one of the last plays that the Raiders made, the Devontae Adams ends up getting like tripped over or blocked by one of his teammates. Or it might have been like the other way around. I don't sound so professional not being able to recall this, but please believe in my skills. So basically, Raiders just choked it, right? They had possession of the ball. They could have taken the lead, but they choke it, right? And it was like kind of like a bad mistake too. Like, you know, teammates bumping into each other is never good looks. It really isn't. So, and okay, can I, on top of this, like, let me just pull up the score for the game from last week. So basically, it was the Chiefs win 30-29. And if we do a little mathematics, right? You score a touchdown, that's 6 points, right? And let's just say, 4 touchdowns. What is 4 touchdowns worth? Like points-wise. That's like 24, 24 points plus the extra point, field goal point. So then that's like 28 points. Yo. Okay. So the reason why I'm doing this mathematics is because Travis Kelce, my tight end, my fucking second round pick, the best tight end in the league, 4 touchdowns. Travis Kelce, 4 touchdowns. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 touchdowns, baby. Man, that felt good. I ain't gonna lie. That felt pretty fucking good, That's kind of fucking crazy, yo. Dude, he contributed to all the points in his team. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, isn't that a little bit nuts? All the touchdowns in the game was him. I'm just saying Travis Kelce does these things. Truthfully, if the Chiefs get into a matchup where they're like, okay, this cornerback cannot meet none of these cornerbacks, or they just don't know, they can't read the plays at all. So then why not just keep on giving it to my boy Kelce? And that's what they did. And then you know what happened after that? That made Davante Adams pretty mad, especially after they made a mistake that costed them the win. So guess what? Davante Adams, he's fucking pissed off, all right? He's a true competitor, all right? And he's a respectful competitor too, but he is a competitor, and he's got that competitive nature. So when Davante Adams is walking out of the stadium, he's literally walking in a straight line. This one dumbass kid, right? Cameraman, something, right? Literally goes in a perpendicular route in front of him. Like this. And Davante Adams got his fucking helmet on. He's got his helmet on, all right? That's just to show you how pissed off he was as well, dude. He was really not having it if he's still keeping his helmet in. He's boxed in that helmet, But he's literally just walking, like ready to go into the tunnel, out the stadium, go home, get some sleep, jerk off. Then this fucking little idiot, probably interning or some shit, just freaking probably got the job from like his rich uncle, And then he's the kid has like, I'm saying it's a kid too. Like, trust, dude, because no grown adult's going to act like this, what I'm about to tell you. But this kid literally just perpendicular, like, has his own route, and then bad luck of the draw, this kid's route happened to be in front of Davante Adams' route. Davante Adams, helmet on, he's pissed. He's got literally tunnel vision. He's going straight, and then boom, all of a sudden some kid just walks in front of him. Like, literally, it was perfect timing. I ain't gonna lie, it was just, or not perfect timing, you could, for Davante Adams, it was really unlucky timing. But and then of course, what do you think? This is a professional freaking wide receiver, like NFL pro, and then there's some lanky little cameraman dude. And then of course, when the paths crossed, Davante Adams bumps into him, and then he's already pissed off. So, of course, he's going to shove him, because it's just like, why would some random person make contact with me all of a sudden, right? It wasn't like Davante Adams was going like, right? He wasn't looking at the dude his whole path, and then it gets in front of them and then pushes him. It's like, dude, he didn't even see him. And then this gets interesting. Just yesterday, this man that was knocked over by Davante Adams goes to the police station and files a charge for assault, misdemeanor assault. God damn. You know, because it's like, dude, Bills destroy the Steelers. You can feel that pain, dude. You can feel that pain, you know? That's real. That's real shit. Dude, this fucking little cameraman kid thinks he's feeling something because he got unlucky, you know? It's like, bro, especially if you're a cameraman. Actually, if you're a fucking cameraman in a fucking sports stadium, first of all, the privilege that you have to be fucking down on that field, and then does he not have like a certain like respect and love for sports or the game or anything? Because I'm thinking like, even if like I'm like, okay, like I'm really like personally offended that I got shoved like, you know, to the ground by an NFL player, I'd still be like, okay, fine, but I love sports, I love like football, and I know how, like, I can understand how intense it could be and like whatever. Dude, nah. He just decides to go to the police station and complain like a little bitch. Like a little bitch. So, I don't know. It's kind of crazy how much coverage there has been on this. I just feel bad for Davante Adams, really, because I was already feeling bad for him. He was already feeling shitty. And then something absolutely unlucky just happens, right? And then now he has to eat that shit as well from some fucking random civilian. Like, Jesus Christ, man. That's not good. That's not good. Basically, fuck this little cameraman bitch, right? Because he literally got just shoved to the ground, grass, and then he got picked up in a second by a security guard. It's like, dude, I know you're trying to milk the money out of this one, which is the craziest part, because it's like, dude, there's like, I'm almost thinking like maybe he doesn't even want to like do some crazy shit. You know, maybe he's just like, this regular stuff, you know, whatever. And then maybe some freaking lawyers all of a sudden just, you know, hit him up on some shit and just be like, hey, yo, you know how much money you can get if you sued this guy and you charged him with like misdemeanor assault, like you can get everything. Like, then he's like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe I'll do this. Because I don't know, dude. This is the most obvious like money grab like ever, dude, ever, truthfully. So, praying for, not praying, hope this thing dies down, hope they resolve this fast, because Davante Adams is a competitor. He's still got a season to play, you know, and this truthfully could have been avoided. Like, I know people are going to say, but like some people say like, you know, I know a good argument would be, okay, Davante Adams should have just like apologized to him like right then and there, right? But he was so like in the zone. He's on his way out of the stadium, you know. And on top of that, Davante Adams apologized in the locker room, dude, on the post-game conference. Like, come on, guy. Come on, guy. Give the man a break, all right? He's got Las Vegas on his shoulders. Shit. Alright. Anyways, I'll move on to another one. Another little topic. So basically, right now in the NFL, we pretty much have every single division is pretty even. All right. Pretty much AFC is like every division in the AFC. There's like one probably 3-2 team, and then like the rest are like 2-2, and then there's 1-3, right? So it's kind of like split, right? Kind of like, you know, you kind of like, you can't say a single division is like running it. But then you get to NFC East, all right? What do we have? Wait, who's in the NFC East? We got Eagles, right? Jalen Hurts, right? We just going ham. They're the only unbeaten team, right? So they're the shit, all right? And then who else we got second? We have the Cowboys. Cooper Rush, the next GOAT. Never lost a game when he's a starter. He's the GOAT. You can't beat him. He's never going to be beaten. He's going to retire with an unbeaten record. Boom. He's never going to take an L in his life, right? And then we have Giants. Saquon Barkley, comeback season. Daniel Jones picking up his stride. NFC East is a beast that you cannot tame. So then you have these three fucking beautiful teams right now that are just doing so much. Making so many improvements, winning so many games. Not really. There's only been 5. But then we get to the last team in the NFC East, and we got Washington Commanders, and we got Carson Wentz. Oh, that just hurts again. It just hurts. Jalen Hurts. Oh, it's I really I know I said this. I wish Commanders all the best. I think they're a good organization. I like their franchise. But y'all need to do something, right? Carson Wentz didn't win the Super Bowl with the Eagles. Nick Foles did. Okay? Carson Wentz isn't that good. Maybe give Taylor Heineke a try. Now we're talking, So, as much as I could be here, it's like, oh, man, I feel so bad for, Washington Commanders. All their, people in the division are so much better than them. I wish they could do better. No, dude. Just drop that fucking carrot top looking fucking ginger fuck. I know I'm fucking aggressive today, but dude, just get him out of there, bro. Get him out of there. Maybe sign I don't know, drop some money on someone, dude. And then we can, then you can be in talks about being worthy to be in the NFC East, because right now, Commanders ain't worth it. They ain't worth it. All right. So, yeah. Just briefly talk about the matchups going into week 6. We have some interesting matchups. Good amount of matchups that can go either way. And then we have a couple of heavyweight matchups as well, which is always nice. Giants versus Ravens is the first one I can think of. I've seen a lot of people on social media, different analysts, different media members, all that, say that Giants might take this one. And I kind of agree. I feel like Ravens have been doing well. Ravens, no doubt. Ravens are doing well. They're as long as Lamar Jackson Jr. is there, they're not going to be horrible. They're never going to be horrible. All right. But I just think Giants are hitting a different stride. I really feel like Giants could pick up some pace, and if there was a decider, a game that decides how they look for the rest of the season, and we're talking a early season game, then this is the one I'm talking about for the Giants. The Giants have a chance to beat the Ravens, and they have a very good chance to beat the Ravens. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson Jr. What are you, crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. And I got Saquon Barkley in my fantasy team, so how the fuck am I not gonna root for the Giants? You know what I'm saying? I just want Saquon to run the Ravens boys up. You know what I'm saying? So that could go either way. That could really go either way. I'm not going to be sad if the Ravens win. I'm not going to be disappointed. But I'm just saying, anything can happen. And right now, I'm just saying the Giants can happen. All right. Next one. This is going to be a hot take, but I think Jets versus Packers could get a little iffy. Could get a lot iffy, I think The more games the Jets play with Zach Wilson, the better they're going to be. And Zach Wilson just got back. And they weren't even that. But, dude, I keep on thinking about Flacco and the Jets versus the Browns. I mean, Jesus, I know it's against the Browns, but, dude, that was a sick game, you know? So, yeah, I'm saying Jets can upset the Packers. I'm saying that. And, like, this is a hot take, too. This does nothing for me, you know, because it's not like I'm, like, this disgustingly huge fan of Jets all of a sudden just because they're not losing for once, right? But I'm just saying, and also, dude, I fucking love Aaron Rodgers, so I don't really want the Packers to lose. But I'm just saying that the Jets are different. And they got definitely more than something to work with, you know? So, yeah, just let's see, and let's let the Jets do their thing and see if it works out. Because if the Jets can overcome the Packers defense, we're good. Like, the Packers defense is what we got to worry about. Truthfully. And the Jets have a good defensive team, too. So, what? I would only say that kind of stuff about Seahawks or Russell Wilson. All right, I'm sorry. But if they can just figure out the defense of the Packers, boom, done. They got another win. So, Jets possibly can upset. All right. Next one, we have the Chiefs versus Bills heavyweight matchup that I mentioned before. I think I want the Bills to win this one, truthfully, because then I think if the Bills win this, they win the Super Bowl. But that's the thing. I really think Chiefs are not going to go down too easy, man. Chiefs are the Chiefs, yo. We're still talking about Patty Mahomes. We're still talking about Andy Reid. We're still talking about the number one tight end in the whole goddamn league, right? So the Chiefs can very well still take it. I just think that the Bills' defense might be a little too much for the Chiefs' offense. I think that matchup might be a little bit more on the Bills' side. But if we're just talking about, you know, offense on offense, you know, but because that's what scores the points at the end of the day, then yeah, we got a real heavyweight matchup on our hand that could go either way. And I'm just going to say right now, if Bills win this one, they win the Super Bowl. No bullshit. You heard it from me first. And if Chiefs but that's the thing. I'm not saying that if Chiefs win this, then Bills don't win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying if the Bills win, then they're winning the Super Bowl. All right? And this might be even a hotter take than the previous one I just gave. But that's the take I'm going to give all y'all. And I believe in it too. But if the Chiefs win, I don't know. They might make division championships. I'll say that. Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, Chiefs aren't that bad. Yeah, dude, as long as they got Patty Mahomes, they're working with something. As long as they got Travis Kelce, they're working with something. As long as they got Andy Reid, they're working with something. Okay? So, let's just leave it at that. Okay, well, if I had to say who wins then, I'd say Bills. Okay? All right. Let's move on. Eagles versus Cowboys is the next heavyweight matchup. And for me personally, I think this is the only other heavyweight matchup that we have in Week 6. And obviously, this is a fucking battle in the NFC East. two top teams in the league right now. And dude, I think Cooper Rush is gonna give the Eagles their first loss. I said it. I just feel like there's something about Cooper Rush right now. It's kind of like Michael Jordan has this crazy statistic that not a lot of people know about, but he has technically, and for reals, like statistically, he's never lost 3 games in a row. Like, he's never lost 3 games in a row. Never. Like, he can take 2 L's in a row, but he's never taken a third. So I'm kind of just saying, and it was like that was probably like a mentality thing for Jordan, right? He was like, dude, I can take 2 L's in a row, but I'm not taking the 3rd L in a row, because if I take the 3rd L in a row, I might as well retire, right? And I feel like that's the shit with Cooper Rush, Cooper Rush is like, yo, if I don't win for the team, then I might as well get kicked off the team. I might as well not be a starter, So, the Eagles, they might be hurting after this week. They might be hurting. I'm just saying. Watch out. Watch out. Okay, but on a serious note, of course, Eagles are very fucking good. And they're doing a lot of things correct. Yeah. I mean, Eagles could destroy the Cowboys, and I could get this wrong completely, but just because of the joke. Just because of the joke I just made, Cooper Rush, Cowboys take the win. Okay? They beat the Eagles. Eagles take their first L, okay? Of the week, of the season. All right? So, let's just say that. Fucking. Let's just leave it at that. Move on. Next one is another hot take too, just because I'm a little bit of a, weirdo. Seahawks versus Cardinals. I think the Cardinals can maybe take an L this week. I'm thinking Seahawks and Geno Smith. Hey man, they can do something. Geno Smith right now is ranked like number 1. I forgot what statistic it was. He was definitely number 1 out of all quarterbacks in one statistic. Dude, I think like receiving yards. Oh no, not receiving yards. Like throwing yards. I think he's leading right now. Like, I genuinely think this guy's like, and I like I mentioned, I think in the last week's episode, Geno Smith, the reason why he's so good is because he's been a backup for the Seahawks for more than a year. I don't know like specifically how many years, but he's been a backup quarterback, right? So he knows pretty much all the plays, all the everything. He's pretty much in the process of, with the coaches and making these plays and testing out these plays and everything like that. So he definitely knows what he's doing, right? So I feel like, and I truly think that when you put like competitors in like the spotlight and they've been out of the spotlight for a long time, I think they do. There's this extra just motivation that just completely motivates them to just go at it 100% and like make the most out of their time when they're under the spotlight. So I feel like Geno Smith got that this whole freaking season, and this is one of those matchups where I can see Seahawks actually, pulling off the upset, because every single horrible team is always going to pull off an upset, during the regular season, right? Unless if there have been some horrible teams that have like literally never won. But, truthfully, Geno Smith, Seahawks, let them do their thing. Let them do their thing, all right? Guys, I know, the disappointment I've had is immeasurable. I went on social media. Part of the reason why I decided to only do bullet points and not write like scripts anymore was because, dude, I went on social media on Monday. No, on Wednesday. No, Tuesday, because it was a Monday night football game. I went on social media Tuesday morning. I could not enjoy my time on social media. You know why? Because everybody was cooking my boy Russ. Dude, stop cooking him, please. Like I said, dude, this guy's in a new team. It takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit more time than a freaking training camp, truthfully. Right? So now we have him matched up against the Chargers. Let Russ cook, dude. Let Russ cook. I'm saying, I know you guys are clowning him because that's what everyone was saying about him against the freaking matchup that we had last week, but then he wasn't cooking. But, dude, this time I'm telling you, he's cooking. He's cooking, okay? Let the man cook, all right? He praises God and he plays football, okay? Can you stop hating on the man, okay? Please. God damn it, man. So basically what I'm trying to say is the Broncos are going to let Russ cook, and when he starts getting cooking, then the Chargers are nothing. Chargers, boom, bam, get him out of the way. Justin Herbert, I don't know who you are. Okay? So, man, I really just wish they can fucking, if they just learn how to fucking contain Keenan Allen or Eckler or Austin Eckler, then we're good. Just contain those two guys, please. Especially Eckler. No. Okay. Just try your best, Russ. Please don't lose. Don't do it. All right, please. Shit. All right. But that's all I have about the NFL. Hopefully this format worked a little bit. I think it did work a little bit better. Or the fact that I don't have to go through every single game. Yeah. Anyways, moving on to the next sport, because guess what? Bada bing, bada boom. F1. Another weekend of F1. Asia is done for this year when it comes to F1 racing. Singapore and Japan doubleheader. We're done with that. But, yeah, the Japan race, the Japan weekend. Personally, I skipped out a lot. I didn't skip out on the qualifying, but I just didn't think the qualifying was too special at all. I don't think there was anything, strange or anything like that, or anything that, catches the eye. But I'll talk all about the race, though. No problem. I'll talk all about the race. So the Japanese, first time back in Suzuka in a long time. A little water break. Sorry about that. And there was lots of rain. It was raining like crazy. It was raining quite a lot, actually. And basically that made everything more hectic. Of course, the freaking race was delayed by so much. I woke up like 7:30 for the race. It was 8 in the morning here in Finland. That was supposed to be the race start. I think they started it like 10:30, something like that. So I was, thank God I was busy. I had some things to do, but otherwise, again, delay with the goddamn rain. I don't really get that, but okay, whatever. So we get to actual racing, and the race start, and it's awesome. I was very hyped for it, because dude, it's wet weather racing in Japan too. There's something so everybody loves the circuit in Japan, first of all, and then everybody loves the fans. Of course, the fans are a big part of it. But dude, there's something about like the gloominess of like rain in Japan, especially, and just like it was proper like rain for sure. Like it was full wet. Tires were in use, and it was definitely like fully raining and wet outside and on the track. So then you just get, I mean, it's dangerous as hell. It's, whatever for the drivers, but visually it just looks so cool when the cars are just going so fast and then pushing so much water out of the back, and it's just like, it leaves a whole trail. It just visually it looks awesome. But of course, when you have so many cars, so many fast cars and fast drivers driving around on the opening lap, something's going to happen, especially in the rain. And then I think it was Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon who was out of the race after the first lap. And Sainz actually, he just like aquaplaned, which is pretty much like he just, he couldn't do anything about it pretty much. It wasn't like even a mistake necessarily, but he couldn't do much about it. Spins, gives the sidelines, the wall a little nice love tap with his butt over the car, and he was out. And then Alex Albon was out, and I think, like Pierre Gasly, picked up some debris in a weird way or something like that. But pretty much that brought out the safety car, and safety car is just like a regular sports car. That's not regular. It's far from regular because it's got all the safety equipment and all the different things on it. But basically, it's the speed of like a normal sports car. Of course, there's a really talented driver or like medic behind that wheel, but it doesn't have the speeds like the F1 cars do. So basically, it's just like a slower car, and then all the other cars have to follow the safety car. And this is where it gets really, really crazy, because while they were out on track behind the safety car, following the safety car, like all the cars are still driving, and like, okay, yeah, it's slower than if they were racing, like if the F1 cars were racing, but it's still like fast because the safety car is trying to go as fast as possible because all the F1 cars behind him are like trying to, are hurrying him up, right? So we're still going real fast, like between 100 to 200 kilometers per hour. And basically, during the safety car, during the time where everybody was still out on track, in their F1 cars, a recovery vehicle, right? Because if F1 cars crash out, you need like a tractor type of thing to come onto wherever the car is beached, and then you just, pick it up real quick, and then take it out of the sidelines. But this time, the recovery vehicle was out, like literally on the track, not even on some like random part of the track where it's like right by the side of the fences and there's like a good distance, or dude, no, it was literally like the POV that they showed was there was cars just go, and it was like on like a kind of like a incline too, right? This part of the track, and first of all, the drivers don't even see anything to begin with, right? Because it's wet racing, like you're just getting, the car in front of you, he's just spraying you with water. You can't really even see anything to begin with, right? And then imagine you're already going at like pretty, for them it's not crazy speeds, but for for human beings, if they're going like 100 to 150 kilometers per hour, let's just say, behind the safety car. And imagine you're just like going, like, you think everything's chilling as long as you just follow behind the car in front. And then you just see a flash of like another object just go by you in the middle of a track, right? Like not in the middle, but like on the track, right? It was on the left side of the track, this recovery vehicle. That is so dangerous, it's not even funny. Like, it really isn't, because they can't see anything. It's so easy for those cars to like spin out, like lose control. It actually is. The margins that we're talking about is insane, right? Like, actually insane. So, and the fact, like, it's there. It's a stationary heavy vehicle, right? While all these fast, really like vehicles that are not, like, of course they're really, really safe, these newest F1 cars, but like they're still built to be as light as possible. They don't got like the freaking strongest, some kind of material to keep it together. Of course they have the halo, which is different, which is not carbon fiber and that kind of shit. Like, not shit, but the halo actually helps out a lot with safety, right? But dude, like, if you're going against like a stationary vehicle that is way heavier than an F1 vehicle, like, dude, you crash into that, it's over. And that's the most fucked up part, because in 2014, the latest death we've had in F1 was in Suzuka, in Japan, during Japan Grand Prix in 2014, when Jules Bianchi lost control of his car, and there was a recovery vehicle on the side, like outside of the track, by the fences, by the rubber tires, like the wall, right? He was out there, but just because Jules Bianchi got unlucky, lost control of the car, and the car was sliding. Not even like, they're not full throttle, it's just sliding off the speed that it already had. Jules Bianchi's car ended up, crashing into the recovery vehicle, and Jules Bianchi passed away then and there. And that's the last death we've had in Formula One. And the fact that stuff like this happened now, it's really, really scary. Like, just seeing like the point of view from like the cameras on the car, like seeing that was really, really crazy. Like, it looked scary. Like, it genuinely, like, it already looked intimidating enough when those guys are driving so fast and they're just getting sprayed. They see a little bit of a flashing red light from the back of the car that's in front of them, but the fact that they're just driving, they can't see anything, all of a sudden passes on your left side and you're barely missed it, and you're like, what in the fuck was that? Like, I could have just died there if I just decided to go like 2 meters to the left. So that was a really, really, and obviously, everybody realized it was a huge problem. Pierre Gasly was the most outspoken driver, and deservedly. Jules Bianchi was, one of his, I think, mates, right? I think it was like friends or family friends, or it might have even been a family member to Pierre Gasly. So, but the fact is, like, it would scare like anyone. Probably all of those drivers were actually like genuinely like flustered by that recovery vehicle being there. So you never want to see stuff like that. You really don't. I think you can't really blame the FIA. You can just blame the marshals. Like, genuinely, like, it's unfortunate. Those marshals are gonna catch a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, I think it was just like a matter of like two or three, Japanese dudes who just got a little confused under the pressure, and then it just went out on track without like, asking if they have the permission for it or all that. So you don't want to see that. And I really hope that they do talk about this more, because it is very, very dangerous, and stuff like that really can't happen, or you can't let it go under the rug for real. So let's see what happens with that. But otherwise, let's go on to a little bit more positive stuff about the race. So first of all, I just want to say this right before like the real important stuff, dude. Joe, fastest lap. Guan Yu Zhou, fastest lap in Suzuka. I'm just saying. And this ain't no, he just lucky first lap, lucky fastest lap, or he just saved up all his like tires and, and his like battery to, be able to take the fastest lap. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about my Chinese brother with his big fucking balls decided to run through the fucking streets of Suzuka. You know what I'm saying? Like he was driving that Alfa Romeo. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Joe's the GOAT. Joe's the GOAT. Another one thing that was really, really cool about the Japanese race was Vettel versus Alonso photo finish. Like, picture perfect finish. They were 0.011 seconds apart on the finish line. They were literally side by side going past the finish line. That's just so cool, dude. That's just so cool. If it was like another combo, any other combo of drivers, they were going, whatever. But dude, the fact that it's like two of the old foxes of the grid, two former dominant champions, you know what I'm saying? Still, 2022, still challenging each other, showing these kids what they all about, right? So that was awesome. That was really awesome. If you guys want to check it out for yourself. The photos, the videos, they're crazy. And the POVs. All right, and getting into the big news. This was a little bit anticlimax. But Max Verstappen wins the Drivers' Championship. And I say climax because he was because first of all, Charles Leclerc got a freaking penalty, that gave Max Verstappen the championship. So it was like Max Verstappen, he finished the race, and he was like, oh, shit, damn it, whatever, I'll just win it in the next race in America. And then Charles Leclerc got the freaking penalty, and then it was just like, oh yeah, by the way, Max, you won. And he was like, okay. Like, I think it's kind of crazy, but dude, Max Verstappen doesn't seem like the type of guy that where he's like, dude, this is like the last one. Dude, I think this guy has so much confidence right now. He just nonchalantly was just like, yeah, okay, I won the second one. But he's just like, man, the third one would be kind of cooler. So I'm going to like really go ham for the third one. You know what I'm saying? Like, truthfully, I think there's something scary. Ferrari fans, you guys should be intimidated. You guys should be scared. If this guy's barely, showing his excitement. Of course he's got, oh my God, so proud of the team, the family, my parents, my loved one, all that. Okay. He did that. But, he never, otherwise it was just, great and awesome. Won a second championship. I mean, can't be surprised. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting. And he's a 2-time world champion now in F1, and same as Fernando Alonso, and the same amount of wins currently as Fernando Alonso. If you do want to compare him to other racing drivers, That's a pretty good fucking comparison, I'd say. Because we have, and it's kind of crazy because we have like the same story where it's just like Michael Schumacher. He was just dominating so hard all those years in Ferrari, since 2000. And as soon as Fernando Alonso, not as soon, but Fernando Alonso in that Renault finally defeated, what was at the time the GOAT, and then went on to win 2 on top of that. So we literally have the same exact situation here. We have Max Verstappen. Before he won last year, you had Lewis Hamilton, only Lewis Hamilton winning, right? And Max Verstappen finally was able to defeat the GOAT of our time. And after that, he picks up another one. So, and I'm hearing a lot of talk saying that he could actually, he could just win all of them till 2026. I think that's too big of a assumption. Of course, the Red Bull engine that they have is really legit. But, come on. I feel like, and I don't even feel like the Ferrari is lacking by that much. Truthfully, if Leclerc can get those pole laps, dude, just tweak the engine a little bit so then he could just race more than one lap, or go fast more than one lap. That's it. That's really it, So I'm not gonna go ahead and say that Max Verstappen is just completely put himself in a place where he can become a freaking legend. But he's driving like one. He truthfully is driving like one. And right now, I just don't really see anyone stronger than this guy. Truthfully. Out of the young guys, Leclerc, Sainz, I think if we're talking about team plus driver package, the only driver and team I could actually think of who can win the championship, and this is a bit of a hot take, is George Russell. And I don't even like that motherfucker. Or I don't know, I just think he's a little cheese, But the fact that Russell's been able to perform so well his first season with Mercedes, right? He's truly adapted, off the rip, instantly. Dude, compare him in a new team, to Ricardo when he went to McLaren. Dude, you can't even compare. And that's why I think the only guy that can really, is Russell. Because I think Russell's got the confidence. And the team's got the confidence in him. I don't think Leclerc has that. I don't think Leclerc has confidence in the team. I don't think the team has confidence in him. Or I don't think the team has confidence in themselves, and I don't think Charles Leclerc has confidence in himself. But I think it's the opposite case with George Russell and Mercedes. I think if we're talking till 2026 when the regulations change the next time, there's a very good chance George Russell wins one. I really think so. He's really he's shown his hand. He's shown truly what he's capable of. And I'm excited to see someone challenge Max Verstappen. And I mean, dude, if Merck can come up with a good car, Max Verstappen versus Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. Oh my God. I just want Max Verstappen versus Lewis Hamilton another season. Truthfully. Lewis Hamilton's got it. He's still got it, guys. Relax. He's still the GOAT. All right. So we really got to see how that goes. We really got to see. We got to see if Max Verstappen can keep the streak up. Also, Red Bull can break their own record of Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez can break the Red Bull record of most the most wins in a season. So far, it's 9 by Sebastian Vettel in 2011. I'm going to say 2011. Yep. Or 2010. Okay. Either one of those 2 years, Sebastian Vettel set the record for most wins in a row, which was 9 race wins in a row. And then at the same time, those 9 wins were the only wins by Red Bull that season. So right now, they have 7 or 6 wins, I think, Red Bull, between Perez and Verstappen. So they can still beat that record for Red Bull, no problem. So let's see if that let's see if that happens. I don't want to see Max Verstappen win more, but obviously I just want like a really nice, intense race as well. And we've got nice places to race coming up. So now we have a little bit of a break. We fly back. We got Austin, Texas, and then we got Mexico, and then we got Brazil, and then we got Abu Dhabi, and then we're done. So let's see what the last 4 races have got to offer us. And I'm excited, truthfully, because now everyone's more free. Everyone's, all the results have come out now, so now everybody just wants to race for the result that they can get that day, So let's go. We're gonna have an exciting rest of the season. So basically, UFC, nothing much going on. 280s next week. I'm only gonna talk about that next week because I want the build up to be nice and raw, right in front of my face. Maybe only record that podcast episode after like a press conference or something, that'd be great. Or like weigh-ins and stuff like that. But yeah, doesn't matter. I'm waiting impatiently. Truthfully, I'm waiting impatiently, but it doesn't freaking matter because the United States of Emirates? Okay. I'm sounding really dumb right now, so I'm just going to say it's about to be a war zone in the UAE, all right? That's all I got to say. I'm just like Charles Oliveira, he's walking around a freaking line there, all right? He's just chilling, walking with a line there. The video just came out today. It's about to be crazy. It's about Alexander Volkanovski, the featherweight champion, undisputed. Right now, I could argue pound for pound fighter in the UFC. Guess what? This guy's the backup. This guy's waiting. He's there in the UAE with all the other fighters, also training just in case Charles do Bronx Oliveira or Islam Makhachev do not make weight. So, oh my goodness, right? Oh my goodness. I hope this is not one of those foreshadowing things. I really don't, because this is the matchup I want to see. This is the matchup everyone I want to see. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy right now in the UAE, but that's all I've got to say about the UFC. Because I'm going to talk a little bit of the NBA. The regular season starts next week. We've had the preseason now. Preseason games all over the place. I personally don't think I'm going to talk too much about the preseason games. But I'm just going to talk about what I think is going to go down. Lakers are going to flop. Utah Jazz, and my boy Lauri Markkanen, they're going to pop. Yeah, they're about to pop. Dude, okay, even if Jazz don't pop, my boy Markkanen's going to pop. You know why? Because, dude, they got rid of Donovan Mitchell. All right, Markkanen was part of that trade with Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell went to Cleveland. All right, what you got was pretty much the best Aryan guy that can play basketball in the world. All right, And pretty much, and Rudy Gobert's gone. I don't give a crap about Rudy Gobert. That Frenchman, get them the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But dude, I am wholeheartedly convinced that this is Markkanen's team now. Dude, who else is gonna be there, like making the plays? Like, I truthfully think there's no one else in that team that can make like big time plays except for Markkanen. That's it. So, let my Finnish boy do his thing, okay? Trust me, you guys are going to want to follow along because he's about to do something crazy too, all right? If we're talking about individual players, Luka Doncic is about to have his MVP season, okay? It's going to be a make or break year for the Dallas Mavericks. I think they've dragged Luka Doncic around already enough. Like, truthfully, he's doing all he can, dude. Doncic single-handedly beat the Suns last year in the playoffs. That Game 7, that was all Luka Doncic, okay? That was Luka magic right there, okay? And we knew about his, how good he is since the beginning. Since he came into the league, we already knew how good he was, all right? Rookie of the season, he's been playing out of his mind literally every minute he's on the court. So I think the Dallas Mavericks really have the possibility, because it's kind of like, how long are you going to keep Luka in your team and not build around him properly, like absolutely properly, right? And I think this is the year. They're either going to come into the season with like a full support for Luka, right? A whole offensive core built around Luka, right? Either they're gonna do that, or it's just hopeless again. It's just Luka doing the same goddamn shit he's trying to do all the time, right? Gets a little bit of help there and there, but otherwise it's still hitting him step back threes from the logo for the win, right? Or to even just not be down by 10 points or some shit, you know? So Luka's gonna do well. And if he doesn't do well, it's not his fault. Truthfully, it's not a fault. You can't put any accountability on him, bro. But that's the thing. I don't want this season to end and be like, oh my God, Luka did shit. The team did shit. So then who am I going to put the blame on? Mark Cuban. I don't want to put the blame on Mark Cuban either. He's a cool guy. He obviously has a passion for the game of basketball. But I'm sorry, Mark. After the season, if Luka ain't the MVP and you haven't been helping out Luka for anything, haven't made any improvements, then I'm sorry, Mark. I'm going to have to put that on you, okay? But anyways, that's my take for if we're talking about MVP, all right? If we're, truthfully, who I think is, this is, yeah. Okay. That was pretty much the only individual player I'm going to get into detail. But now talking about teams, Golden State Warriors, they could go back to back. You always want to say that about about a team that just won the championships. You really do, because they already have, that's the whole point. They already have such a good basis, right? And then they just do more, during the off season, during whatever, to make those improvements. So why not? Why not? Steph is all right. Yeah, Steph is older by age a little bit, by 1 year, but dude, he's still the same guy. He can still shoot the three the same way. So who says that? Honestly, Steph could also have an MVP season back to back. Why not? I've already stated this. I think he's the GOAT over LeBron James. If we're saying LeBron James is the GOAT, all right, dude, you better put Steph Curry's name in that fucking category, bitch. So that's my thoughts about Golden State Warriors. They're one of my favorite teams. How can you not like them? Klay Thompson, he's out in a boat somewhere sipping on a pina colada. All right? And, but if we're talking about teams that are probably going to do really well, then, I mean, Golden State is one, but that's for the West. When we're talking about the East, I think it's the 76ers. I think the 76ers finally have like kind of put the pieces together. James Harden truthfully actually wants to play at the place he's playing at for once. Right. Dude, he hasn't been happy since like the first year in Rockets. Like that's pretty much it. Yeah, dude. I don't know. So I think the 76ers now with Harden and Embiid, like he's been suffering enough. Because, dude, I just realized this today. Like, I only realized this today. But the fucking pain that Joel Embiid must have gone through. Like, I know we already see the shot of him crying his eyes out, leaving the stadium after Kawhi Leonard beat him with a fucking bouncing, rattled-in buzzer beater for the L. Yeah, or like, you know, Joel Embiid, 76ers, they took the L in the Eastern Conference Finals that year. The fucking fact that, dude, it must have hurt so much because pretty much whatever team from the East went to the finals, we're going to beat that team, or we're going to beat that Warriors team, because then KD falls, Klay Thompson falls. You ain't got much opposition anymore. Right? That's why the Raptors won. Canadians, you can get mad at me, but I'm just saying, okay? It would have been a different fucking series if KD and Klay Thompson were fully healthy. All right? So the fact that Embiid's kind of like missed out on a ring already, or gotten that damn close to a ring before, you know, I truly think that just, you know, builds more fire in him. And then this is finally the season that we get to see like a full package 76ers. So from the East, 76ers are going to do real damn good. Out of the West, though, another team that could do really good compared to last season is the Denver Nuggets. Because right now, what we got is Jamal Murray's back. And we all know what that cat can do on the court. We all know what Jamal Murray can do, especially in the postseason. But we're talking about regular season, but we know what that man can do, okay? That guy is good. He's sick with it. So he's back at 100%. I don't see why the Denver Nuggets couldn't, like, just, you know, with Jokic is he's just incredibly good at all times. It's kind of crazy, but I don't see why they can't just, you know, pick up where they left off, you know, during the off season. They've made all those improvements, you know, and we haven't, you know, the teams haven't even been playing against like Jamal Murray and Jokic, you know, that duo. They haven't been playing them. So imagine they come back with a couple new tricks up their sleeves. Denver Nuggets can do something crazy. For sure, they can do something crazy. Jimmy J. Buckets gonna probably carry Miami Heat to the Eastern Conference Finals somehow, because he's that guy. He's got long hair now. He's got braids. He's chilling. Media ask him, yo, Jimmy, you have short hair. Obviously, you got this hair extensions on, and you got these braids now in the off season. Why do something like that? And he's like, just to make people angry. Yeah. He's trying to fire people up. You know, he's trying to get other people to fire him up too. You know. So, and then on top of that, he's got, you know, young buckets. You know, Tyler Herro, that just got a bag from Miami to stay there. So why not? Why not, dude? Let's just Miami Heat probably gonna do pretty damn well too. Okay? and I want them to do well. That's why I'm mentioning them. Okay, I want my boy Jimmy J Buckets to do well, so that's why I'm mentioning them. Anyways, the last team that I kind of want to talk about then in the NBA is Boston Celtics, because okay, they made the finals last year. Okay, they've got the young offensive core, and honestly, they're not even that young anymore, but still youthful compared to Lakers core. Fucking Lakers. But like, in Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they're really good. The whole team's amazing. They're really like they kind of got all the pieces together. Truthfully, like you saw that. I think they fell short last year in the finals because the Warriors were like kind of pretty freaking good, right? So, but we got questions. We got questions concerning how good they're going to be, or how good their regular season performance is going to be, because they don't have their head coach from last year anymore. You know why? Because this guy is a bit of a dirty dog with the women, with the ladies. But that's none of my business. That shouldn't be anyone else's business. This guy's a bit of a savage, a bit of a wild one. But hey, there's coaches like that out there. But anyway, he was being a little bit of dirty dog with his marital situation and everything like that. So then he gets kicked off, and then now I think the assistant coach, or like the offensive coach of the Celtics, is going to come in as the head coach. But that raises questions. Are they going to be able to do what they did last season with another head coach? Are they going to be able to make new changes, new improvements, without having the same coach as last year that took him to the finals in his first year as head coach? I mean, Jesus. So this guy ain't loyal to no hoe. This guy's still getting you to the finals. I'm sorry. But think of it what you will. But that's all the takes I have for sports this week. This is all I have to do. This is all I have to discuss about. And next week is going to be a much more fun one. I already can't. Like, I'm trying to keep myself back from talking about UFC 280 in full detail. But you guys are going to have to wait for that for next week. And let me know if you guys think this was a little bit better. Just me riffing, talking. I was looking at these bullet points, but I mean, that's all. I don't have, anything longer than that written down to say. So let me know how this one worked, if it was smoother. I definitely feel like I was talking a little smoother. I could take longer breaks without having to worry too much. But hey, we're balling. That was really, hey, yo. And we're balling. Catch you guys later.